These are 10 quick tips using Windows 11 that will boost your FPS in Fortnite, which will benefit any PC no matter the spec. So if the video helps out, feel free to drop a like on it and subscribe for more. Okay, for the first tip, we're going to disable system notifications. Simply open up the settings tab, head into system, scroll down till you see notifications. Then if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see these two boxes that are ticked by default. Offer suggestions on how I can set up my device, uncheck that, then also uncheck get tips and suggestions when I use Windows. By disabling both of these right here, you will be stopping those unwanted promotional adverts that pop up on Windows and make your game stutter. Next tip, we're going to do a Windows service tweak. Simply open up the Windows search and type in services like so. Click on this application. Then inside the Windows services, you will see there's a ton of services that are running and some that are running in the background. What we're basically going to do here is disable some of them that we have no sort of means of using, and they're just taking up resources for the sake of it. We can literally disable them. So the first one here is fax. This is an example of one. This is if you have a fax machine, you need this service, which most people don't. So you want to click on properties or right click, then you want to click on startup type, and you want to change it from manual to be disabled, and this will disable the fax service. And you can literally do this for any service that you deemed not useful. So as you're scrolling down, if you see any sort of service that you think is unnecessary, you can simply disable it. There's another one that I like to do, which is under W. If I scroll down here, it's the wallet service right here. I myself don't use the Windows wallet service, so I like to go under properties, I like to go under the startup type and disable that one as well. Make sure to apply and press OK. And then there's usually one more that I like to disable too, which is the Windows Insider service. I'm not in the Windows Insider program, so I like to go ahead, go into properties and disable this service as well. Next tip, we're going to clear our temporary files via pressing the Windows key and R on the desktop. This will then open up a run box. In here, you want to type in 3 different commands. The first one is temp, like so. It'll say you don't have permission, but if you press continue, it'll let you have access to it. In here, you can then press Control A, which will select all of these temporary files that are completely useless and can be deleted, and then you can go ahead and press delete. It'll state that some can't be deleted, and that's absolutely fine. Just click the do this for all current items, then click skip like so. For the next one, you want to do the percentage sign, then temp like so. This is a completely different folder. Press OK. You'll notice some more temporary files. Again, do the same process, Control and A, select all of them, then you can hit delete. Again, it won't be able to delete all of them, so just make sure to tick that box, then click skip. It's absolutely fine. And for the last one, we want to type in pre-fetch like so, then press OK. This is another one that will ask for permission. Just go ahead and give it, and then same process, Control A, select all of them. There's a ton in this one. Press delete, and that right there will delete all your temporary files and free up a lot of space, as you've seen. Next, we're going to disable our game bar and activate the game mode. To do this, open up your start menu, then click on settings. Then on the left hand side, select the gaming tab, and the first option is the Xbox game bar, which can help you record gameplay, but it's really laggy. I definitely recommend something like Shadowplay instead, not a Windows one. What you want to do here is disable that, and you will get a huge FPS boost. In addition, you can go back into gaming and go down to the bottom where it says game mode, and you can have this enabled. I myself, I find that it does optimize my PC, however for you it might not, so give it a try firstly, having it on, and if you're not seeing any sort of performance gains, you can go ahead and disable it. The next tip, we're going to edit our power plan by going on the search bar right here and type in edit power plan like so. Click on this one right here. It'll then bring up this window where you want to then choose change advanced power settings. After that, you will see this little power options tab right here. Now by default, it's on balanced, which is normally good for a lot of people out there. However, if you are wanting some higher performance, you can select the high performance setting right here, which has a sort of default config to give you higher performance. If not, you can go back to balanced. Next, we're going to adjust our visual effects by going on the start menu right here and typing in adjust the appearance, and it'll come up automatically. You don't have to type it all out. If you just type in adjust the appearance, you can select this option right here. It'll then open up your performance options, and as you can see, by default it's chosen the let Windows choose what's best for my computer, but what we want want to do is make a custom version of adjust for best performance. You can see when selected it disables every single setting, but I don't recommend that. I recommend ticking 5 in total. The first one is animations in a taskbar, tick that. Then save taskbar thumbnail previews. Then show thumbnails instead of icons, show Windows contents while dragging, and smooth edges of screen fonts. Make sure to click apply, then press OK. Next tip, we're going to uninstall unwanted applications. In your settings tab on the left hand side, go into apps. Then if you click on apps and features, you will see this is all the apps on your computer, and you'll actually notice straight away some of these you won't even use, and you can go ahead and actually uninstall them. The first one for me is Groove Music. I use Spotify, so I'm going to go ahead and uninstall this. Another one is Mail and Calendar. I never see myself using that, so it's pretty much useless to me, so that'll get uninstalled. Scrolling down, there's a news one right here I like to get rid of. Uninstall, just like so. And you'll notice the more you scroll down, the more there is, and a lot of people need to clean these up if you can. For one, you'll save space, and two, it'll benefit your PC in terms of performance. There's actually a lot more than you think that are installed by default that are just sort of like sitting on your computer, taking up space and resources. Next, we're going to disable the startup applications we don't use. Again, in the apps page, what we were just in before, you can actually see at the bottom here, there's a startup section. And inside of this, you can see all the apps that sort of start up on default. Now, your list will be a lot bigger than this, but for me, I like to go ahead and select on the sort by startup impact. And anything that I do not use, like Microsoft Edge for example, this is high impact, I like to go ahead and disable it. I myself use Chrome, as you can see at the bottom here, so I've got no sort of use in Microsoft Edge, and it shouldn't be running in the background at all. Same with Microsoft OneDrive, I like to disable that too. Katana as well, I like to get rid of that, as well as the terminal. But like I mentioned, there'll be a ton more for you guys. Obviously, just sort of do it on your own accord. If you don't use them, make sure to get them disabled. Next, we're going to adjust our privacy settings. You can do this by going into the start menu, then clicking on settings. Then on the left hand side at the bottom, there's a privacy and security option, and the first one you want to select is general. In general, you'll notice 4 different options. Now, I recommend disabling all 4 of these, and what this will do is it'll prevent Windows from live tracking some of your data, as well as suggesting those sort of like content pop-ups that can affect your performance slightly. Moving on from that, you can go back into the privacy and security, and if you actually scroll down to where it says speech right here, it's literally just underneath. I like to go ahead and turn this off as well. If you don't use online speak recognition, there's no need to have it on, so I like to disable it. Same with the diagnostics and feedback too. I actually like to turn that off, as I just don't think it's necessary for myself. And then I also like to go ahead and scroll down to the bottom, and where it says app permissions right here, I like to make sure all of these are off for any apps I don't use, and you can do that to all the apps that you don't use and are pretty much unnecessary for you. And finally, we're going to enable storage sense. If you go into settings, go into system and scroll down to where it says storage, under storage management you will see an option called storage sense, which frees up space and deletes temporary files. I like to go ahead and turn this on. I also like to open up cleanup recommendations, see advanced options, and select what it actually cleans up. Now normally I select all of them, but I do like to keep some unchecked that I don't want to be deleted, and I recommend you do the same. So for me, everything but downloads is pretty much good to go, and I want to get rid of it. I don't want to get rid of downloads, so if any of these options you don't want to get rid of, like you don't want storage sense to delete them, you can go ahead and keep them unchecked. But this looks good for me, so you can then click the remove files button and they will get permanently deleted, so make sure you actually select which ones you want to be like deleted / cleaned up. And after that, you can see that it will remove a ton of things and free up quite a bit of storage. Obviously it'll vary from PC to PC, but that right there was 10 quick tips that you can use in Windows 11 to boost your FPS in Fortnite. Hopefully the video helped out. If it did, feel free to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel, as well as use my code in the item shop. And don't forget to check out these other 2 videos on screen that will probably help you out a ton as well.